Good morning. I welcome you again today to Morning Encouragement. I trust that you had a good Memorial Day celebration yesterday, and I hope your day today is unfolding in a way that is for your good. I had some thoughts on my mind as a result of Memorial Day that I wanted to kind of continue thinking about and share those with you this morning. I began thinking yesterday about the many who had given their lives, laid down their lives for the freedom of our country. Those brave men and women had but one life to live, and they found a purpose beyond themselves with which to live it, or for which to live it. I got to thinking about that. Paul said in 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 14 and 15, "For the love of Christ constrains us, because we thus judge that if one died for all, then we're all dead, and that he died for all, that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves, but unto him which died for them and rose again." I was reminded not only of all the brave men and women who died for the freedom of our country, but I was thinking about the deaths of the disciples and apostles who followed the Lord. I saw someone else posted that sometime earlier, and I was thinking about how they all died. Many of them died what we would call horrible deaths. They died, some were burned, some were hung, some were just murdered, others were left to die in prison, but just really hard ways to die. And then I thought again back to Memorial Day, and some of our soldiers, men and women, died in the most dreaded way, blindsided, shot at without knowing there was an enemy even close by, or an explosion took their lives as some type of landmine was designated under them. I can't even imagine what it would have been like. I've talked to men who were there who did not die in the battles of World War II particularly, and many of them have said it was a dreadful place to be, and I'm sure it was. But that reminds me of the fact that we only have one life to live. Each of them chose a purpose. Some were drafted, but others chose to serve and enlisted so that they might go forth and defend the country. They found a lofty purpose for which to give their life, if necessary. I'm so glad that many did, because we now have the freedom that was purchased with their lives. And I hope you're thankful for that as I am. Thinking about that, I want to ask you a question this morning and ask you to ponder it with me. Ask yourself, do I really have a purpose beyond myself for which to live my life? I hope you can answer that, yes, I do. If your purpose is God and His service, then He promises us much more than this life. But it is something to think about. We only have one life to give, and I was thinking how tragic it is today to see the great numbers of young people who seem to have no purpose in life, just meandering on through it, hoping to find something that they can love enough to give their hearts and lives to. In this day and time, we see churches being less attended and prayer meetings being shorter and shorter, and yet bars and nightclubs are staying open longer and longer, and more arrests are seen for alcohol and drug use. And I'm not talking about just young people. This is all individuals have but one life to live. And if you don't find a purpose higher than yourself for which to live, you'll be most miserable. Let me share with you the song of Avis Christensen that was written back in around 1920, perhaps right towards the end of World War I. But looking around and seeing the number of people that had so little purpose in life other than making themselves more wealthy, making themselves more popular, making themselves more loved by those around them. She wrote a song saying, "I hope that other people and myself can commit their lives to the highest and best, to God and His service. I hope I won't settle for that which is self-seeking and cheap." You see, the results of those two styles of living are obviously different. One offers a quality of life with the blessings of God upon it. Like Paul said, if we're saved, we're heirs of God, joint heirs with Christ. And this little bit of suffering that we do down here is not even worthy to be compared with the eternal weight of glory that will be ours. Romans 8:18. So thinking about those things and the way Avis Christensen was looking at the world in his day, let's listen to the words of this song as I read it. He says, only one life to offer, Jesus my Lord and King. Only one tongue to praise thee, and of thy mercy sing. Only one heart's devotion, Savior. Oh, may it be consecrated alone to thy matchless glory, and yielded fully to thee. Only this hour is mine, Lord. May it be used for thee. May every passing moment count for eternity. Souls all about are dying, dying in sin and shame. Help me bring them the message of Calvary's redemption in thy glorious name. And the final verse says, only one life to live. Take it, dear Lord, I pray. Nothing from thee withholding. Thy will I now obey. Thou who hast freely given thine all in all for me, claim this life for thine own, to be used, my Savior, every moment for thee. Well, that ought to be our purpose in life, shouldn't it? That every moment we live, every day we have on this earth, we would set him at the top of our purpose and at the top of our reason for going forward, and that we might live to be pleasing to him. Well, I trust that might encourage you a little bit in these days of seeing so many who are floundering and wondering what to do and how to make themselves to be able to regain what they may have lost. Let's start looking at how we can take today to give purpose to our lives by setting God in first place, giving him priority. And I know he'll bless us if we do that. God bless you. Have a good day, and I hope to see you here again tomorrow.